Hello, Lily. Say, are you still planning on marrying my dear boy, Ethan?
Good evening, Mom. It's nice to hear from you. How are you?
Whoa, slow down there, young lady. You and Ethan aren't actually married yet. Calling me Mom seems a little inappropriate, don't you think? Sheesh.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to upset you. Let me just start over. How are you, Donna?
Fine, whatever. Just answer my question, hun. Are you really going through with this wedding?
Yes, I was planning on it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have said yes when he proposed. Plus, our wedding's tomorrow, and...
All right, let me ask you this then. How much money do you have in your savings?
What, this again?
What about your parents? How much money do they make? They better be saving up for their own retirement. Are they in debt? Are you in debt?
Whoa, you really need to slow down, Donna. We've been over this already. Why do I have to share any of that information with you? I am marrying your son after all, so I can see why you're concerned about my financials. But everything else you're asking about feels a little intrusive, don't you think? You keep bringing up my parents. What do they have to do with anything?
I've told you this before. Stop responding to my questions with new questions. All I need you to do is give me your answer, and we're done. Why is that so hard for you to understand?
Well, as I've told you before, we don't have any debt. As for all your other questions, I can't answer them until I know what your intentions are.
Fine. I see how it is. If you can't give me a straight answer, even on the night of your wedding, I guess that's just how it's going to be. I've had enough. Don't even bother. I will see you tomorrow.
Okay, good night, Donna. Hey, Ethan. Your mom texted me again asking about my family's financial situation.
What? Again? Jeez, I can't believe she's still bringing that up. What exactly did she ask you this time?
The same set of questions as before, and the time before that.
I see. Dad and I have both told her it's not polite or appropriate to pry like that. But it just goes into one ear and out the other. I'm really sorry.
It's fine. I'm just glad at least you and Victor have my back.
We need to make sure we keep an eye on her at the wedding tomorrow. I hope she doesn't try to pull anything stupid. Worst case, if she does, I'm prepared to kick her out of the venue.
I really hope it doesn't come to that.
Same here. I'll talk to Mom again tonight. Make sure she doesn't try anything funny tomorrow. I'll ask my dad and my other relatives to keep an eye on her too. I'm really sorry about all of this. My mother making a scene is the last thing we need on our wedding day. I'm glad at least the ceremony went well. You were absolutely stunning.
Oh, thanks, dear. Now we just have to get through the reception. I hope it goes well.
Well, Mom's been pretty quiet so far, so I'm hoping that's a good sign. If she can behave herself for the rest of the day, everything will be good.
The scowl on her face makes me a little nervous, though.
Yeah. She's definitely not doing a good job masking her mood. But maybe she realizes she shouldn't do anything rash? All of our friends and relatives are here too, after all.
I hope you're right. All I want is for everyone to have a good time and for the reception to go smoothly.
I knew it. So you were after our money. You've been exposed, Missy. Ethan definitely won't go through with this wedding now. Oh, how unfortunate for you.
What is your problem? You yanked the microphone out of the MC's hand, then you started insulting me, calling me a money-grabbing gold digger. And then you poured wine on my dress and announced that the wedding was off. How could you do something like that?
Because I had to. You left me no choice. I've been on to you for a while now. I thought it odd that you could never give me a straight answer about your finances. Something smelled fishy. But listening to your father's speech made it very clear to me. You were only with Ethan so you could get your hands on our money. You were so close. You must have been ecstatic about the opportunity to marry the son of a CEO. Well, too bad.
Have you lost your mind? What part of my father's speech could have possibly made you think that? You better have a good reason for interrupting him, because that was incredibly rude.
I'll give you 3 good reasons. First of all, he said that you went to a vocational school. Your family must have been so poor that the option of going to college was never even in the cards. Second of all, your father said that he was sick. Therefore, he can't work. So that means, when my husband and I met your parents for the first time, he lied to us about working as a cook. And third of all, your mother works full-time. What woman would choose to do that if your family wasn't in need of money? Your mother could have been a stay-at-home mom. But that's not the case. So, there you have it. All the evidence I need to conclude that the only reason you were trying to marry Ethan was so that you could be the wife of a future CEO and take all our money. Not so smug now, are you? You deceitful low-class bimbo. You have no place in my family.
Uh-huh. I see. Fine then. The wedding is canceled. I hope you're pleased with yourself.
I am, indeed. Now, get lost, you beggar. Lily, is it true? I heard that after you announced that you canceled the wedding yesterday, you actually carried on with it as planned.
Yes, we did. We were actually going to cancel the reception and send everyone home after you ruined my dress and my father's speech. But after seeing everything that happened, the staff at the venue felt bad and were kind enough to let us stay later than the time we booked the place for. Fortunately, we were the only couple getting married there yesterday, so they didn't even charge us for the extra time. It was very nice of them to make those arrangements for us. After we watched you practically skip out of the venue, happy as a clam, we carried on with the reception.
I can't believe this. So when Victor dropped me off at the house saying he had some errands to run, he was actually
headed back to the venue to join us, exactly.
Oh, how dare he do that to me? After I went through all the trouble to expose your true identity. You nasty double-dealing pauper!
Let me set the record straight because it seems you're confused about a lot of things. I don't need you to be making any more presumptions about me and my family.
Confused? Presumptuous? Please, I know exactly what's going on. You foolish little girl. You're still trying to trick me, aren't you?
Trust me, I'm not. You seem to be missing a lot of context because you interrupted my father's speech and never listened to the end of it. First of all, yes, I did go to a vocational school. I chose to go to the culinary school so I could help my dad out with the business.
The business? What business?
You seem to think he works at a restaurant as a cook? Which I guess isn't entirely wrong, but there's more to it. He's the head chef at the restaurant he owns.
I'm sorry, what?
I went to culinary school so I could learn the basics and prepare myself before I started working with my dad at the restaurant.
The head chef and owner of a restaurant? What are you even talking about?
My great-grandfather opened a gourmet Italian restaurant way back in the day, and our family's been running the business for decades. As for my dad being sick, that was back when I was in high school. Thankfully, his recovery went well. He's all better now and works in the kitchen every day.
But he never mentioned anything like that.
If you recall correctly, in the speech, he mentioned the time he got sick. He never said he was chronically ill. Plus, after you left, my dad got to finish his speech, and he made a mention of it. He thanked me for my support and for helping out with things at the restaurant during those difficult times. My dad wrote his whole speech down before the reception. So if you hadn't interrupted him when you did, The fact that he made a full recovery would have come up later in the speech.
I didn't think there was much more to it.
And about my mom and her career, she still chooses to work because she loves what she does. Becoming a counselor was her dream. She loved helping others ever since she was a little kid. She worked very hard to build up to the point she's at today. No matter how much money her spouse made or what job they had, giving up on her career was always out of the question for her.
Huh.
Everyone has different values. And it's natural for people to have different goals in life. But it's not okay to make assumptions about them or insult them because of it.
Fine. I admit that I didn't have the whole story, I guess. But that still doesn't change anything. I doubt your family's making much from running one measly little restaurant. I'm sure it's nothing compared to the massive corporation my husband runs. I still don't have enough evidence to be convinced that you're not after our wealth.
Earlier you said you had 3 good reasons to believe that I was only with Ethan for the money. But I just explained everything. The assumptions you based your reasons on were wrong in the first place. Your arguments are completely baseless.
Oh, you're just splitting hairs at this point. You think you got me beat with your flimsy argument? None of that matters because you're not marrying Ethan. I won't allow it. He's going to be leading the company after my husband retires. Being with a poor peasant girl like yourself is detrimental to his future.
Lily! I'm so sorry about my mother's behavior. I have no idea what's gotten into her, but it's completely unacceptable.
I'm okay, Ethan. At least you and your dad are on my side. Of course we are. We know you and we know your character. You're a kind, hardworking, and loving person.
Thanks. I really appreciate that.
So, I have something I wanted to talk to you about, and I want my dad and your parents to be there to hear it. Can you talk to your parents so we can arrange a time for all of us to meet in the next few days? Alright, sure. What is it that you want to talk about, though?
I've been thinking about a lot of stuff. About the business, about our future. I want to make the best choices for us. Dad's been helping me figure some of it out, too. I think I reached a decision. But I wanted to run it by you and your parents first.
Okay. I'll check my parents' schedule and get back to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We'll talk soon.
Lily, answer your phone this instant. What did you tell my husband and son? There's no way they would treat me like this unless you were behind it.
I'm not behind anything, Donna. Victor and Ethan just told me what I assume they told you. Ethan said he wanted to take my family's name and cut ties with you. And Victor said he was going to officially announce that Ethan's cousin Sean will be taking over the company after he retires. Oh, and that he's also planning on divorcing you. At least that's what my parents and I were told. That's all I know.
You can't be serious! Why wasn't I part of this conversation? Oh, unbelievable.
Well, considering the way you behaved at the wedding, I'm not surprised that Victor and Ethan felt they wouldn't be able to have a rational discussion with you. It might feel unreasonable, but I can't really blame them.
This is an outrage. After 30 years of marriage and dedicating my life to being a devoted housewife and supporting my husband while he ran his family's company. What irks me the most is that Victor's telling me that when we split our assets after the divorce, he's going to make me take part of my share and pay you for the damages that I caused at the reception. $50,000! All of his relatives are saying it's only fair, but they're wrong. Everyone's being so cruel to me. I can't stand this.
Mom? I know you're upset, but please, stop taking your anger out on Lily.
Ethan? Oh, don't tell me you're with her right now.
Of course I'm with her. We just brought our papers to City Hall. It's official. We're a married couple now.
I can't believe it.
I took her last name, just like I told you I would.
What have you done?
I'm going to keep working at Dad's company as an employee. But I'm not involving Lily or myself in business operations.
But you're my only son. And you were supposed to take over the business, become the CEO. Do you truly think that what you're doing is acceptable?
I already told you, Sean's taking over the business, not me. And besides, this decision wasn't official until now. But it was practically decided for a while.
What?
You just assumed I was taking Dad's place and made a whole big deal about nothing.
But think of the position that puts you in.
This puts me in a great position, because it's exactly what I wanted. Sean's great at what he does. He's skilled, innovative, and very capable. The company's in good hands with a businessman of his caliber at the top. You may have supported Dad at home, but you have no say in what happens with the company. It has nothing to do with you.
This can't be.
Lily's my family now. I need to go. I'm sorry, but after everything you did at the wedding, I've lost respect for you completely. And I honestly just want nothing to do with you. And as far as your relationship with Dad's concerned, go talk to him about it. I'm sure you both have some stuff to figure out.
Ethan, no. Please wait.
Bye, Mom.
Donna was furious and kept making a fuss, blaming me for everything. But Victor's lawyer told her that she should consider herself lucky that I wasn't suing her for assault or defamation, and that she should be grateful that the family wanted to settle things in a civil manner. I guess that scared her quite a bit because she signed the divorce papers immediately after. I don't understand why she thought what she did at the wedding and her divorce had anything to do with each other, though. Because she was nervous that I was going to threaten to sue her if she didn't sign. Either way, Victor and Donna split their assets after the divorce, and Donna got a chunk of money. But she had to leave and go back to living with her parents. Bad news travels fast, apparently, because all of her friends and neighbors knew about what she did. Donna overheard one of her neighbors gossiping about her one day and punched her in the nose. The neighbor had to go to the hospital and sue Donna for medical expenses, so the money she got after the divorce was completely gone. Her parents kicked her out of their house, and apparently she lives in a town far away now. All alone, working to support herself every day.
Hey, Kate, are you there? I just wanted to ask you a quick little favor, if you didn't mind and have the time. I was wondering if you could bring me a couple of changes of clothes here, and if that would be alright. And maybe I could give you the clothes that I got here, and you could take them home and wash them up, please? I'm really trying to create as little work for you as possible, I promise, but I think that I really need some new clothes right now. I've already worn what I have for a week or so, just cycling through everything. Kate, could you please pick up the phone? We haven't even talked in a few days, and I really miss you. Is everything okay? I really do wish that you would answer me so I can know if you're alright. My messages aren't even coming up as read anymore. I really just wish that you would respond to me in some way. Okay, I guess you're just busy right now. I'll try and reach out to my mom about the laundry then, so don't worry about it. But I really would appreciate it if you would reach out to me and let me know what you're up to. I just wish that I could leave already and that you and I could be together. Anyways, I guess I'll leave it there. Please get back to me when you see this.
Hey, Brian, are you there? You better pick up the phone right now. Serious to talk about. Missed call. Missed call. Pick up the phone right now! I'm trying to talk to you! Don't you ignore your father-in-law like this!
Oh, Greg, sorry, I wasn't looking at my phone and I had it on silence. I'm just seeing all this right now. Oh. What's the matter? Is it something you want to talk to me about? You said it was serious. What's it about?
This is about the fact that I want you to know that just because your wife is in the hospital doesn't mean that you can run around and cheat on her.
Wait, what? What do you mean by any of that? I don't understand.
I mean that just because Kate has been stuck in the hospital for a while doesn't mean that you have permission to go sleeping around on her. You really are a horrible husband, you know that? How can you just abandon your own wife in the hospital, not ever go and visit her and decide to cheat on her on top of all that?
Wait, Greg, please, you've got this all wrong. I'm not cheating on Kate, I swear to you.
cheating on her when you're not busy, then why don't you go to the hospital and visit her, huh?
Well, it's just a little difficult right now.
So then you're really not going to come and see her at a time of need at all right now?
I'm really sorry, Greg. I just can't right now.
You really are a bad liar, you know that? I mean, how can you just abandon your wife in the hospital like this when she needs you right now? I hope all the fun you're having is worth it, because we all know what a terrible person you really are now.
No, wait, please let me explain. The reason why I can't go and visit Kate in the hospital is because I'm in the hospital too, you see.
Wait, what? What do you mean that you're in the hospital? What happened?
Well, this all goes back about a week ago, actually. I was out for a little walk, and as I was trying to cross the street, a bike came out of nowhere and clipped me. They actually hit me pretty hard, and I broke my right leg, and I've been in the hospital recovering ever since.
So then, you mean it? You're really in the hospital as well?
Yeah, exactly. Did you really not know about all that? I would have thought that Kay would have told you about this. I mean, she does know that I'm here after all.
Wait, really? She knows that you're in the hospital right now? Well then, I guess I just have to say that I'm really sorry. I had no idea about any of this, and I really shouldn't have sent you those angry messages.
Well, I mean, those messages were a bit much, but as long as you understand the situation now, I guess that's all that matters. But I guess that means that there are a ton of people in the hospital right now then. I mean, there's me, Kate, and even Holly, right? How's Holly doing, by the way?
Yeah, Holly's still in the hospital as well. She went out with a friend, and I guess at some point she fell down some stairs and ended up hurting herself. Overall, the damage wasn't that bad, but she did hit her head, and so the doctors were of course nervous about that, and wanted to keep her in the hospital to examine her further.
I see. Well, I'm really sorry that I haven't been able to see either of them while they're in the hospital right now. But actually, if it's okay, I have something that I want to talk to you about, and I think you might have the answer.
Well, I guess after the way I treated you, that's the least I could do. What is it? What are you curious about?
The thing is that I haven't actually been able to get a hold of Kate for the past few days now. But now you're telling me that she's in the hospital, and I wonder if that's why I haven't heard from her at all.
You mean you and Kate haven't even been talking to each other for the past few days? Well, both Kate and your daughter just went into the hospital today, actually. When I got to the hospital, I tried to call your landline, but there was no one to answer the phone, and that's why I started to message you on your cell phone. But the reason that I said what I did is because Kate told me that she was worried that you were cheating on her. I guess I just believed her and didn't ask for any more details, and then when I started messaging you,
I see. Well, thank you for clearing that up, but I want you to know that I promise I am not having any kind of affair. Although I wonder why Kate would tell you that. I think I know why, though. The thing is that I've been coming home from work later and later because things are getting so busy for us, so I can't say that I don't understand why she might be suspicious. So I think what this really boils down to is all the hours that I've been having to put into my job.
You really think that's where she was getting that notion from? Well, if that's the case, I'll go and talk to her about that and explain what you told me. By the way, which hospital are you in right now?
It's the one not far from Kate and I's house across the street from that one thrift shop, you know?
Oh, I see. The girls are both in a general hospital in the next town over where I live.
Oh, well, that's good to know that we're not actually that far away when you think about it.
I think that if I got on the freeway, I could basically make it to where you are in about 15 minutes or something like that. Actually, if it's okay with you, I'd like to go out there and talk to you for a little bit about something in person.
Yeah, that's no problem at all. Just be careful coming over. It's not like I'm gonna be going anywhere soon, though, and there's something that I'd like to talk to you about in person as well.
Brian, are you there? I'm so sorry that I couldn't get back to you this whole time. You're not going to believe it, but my Holly and I are actually in the hospital just like you. We were going out with a friend, and then we both fell down the stairs and ended up needing to go see the doctor. We're not quite back to our full strength yet, but the doctor told me that I could go and reset back with my parents if I wanted to. But more than anything, I'm just glad that I wasn't seriously injured and didn't suffer any kind of permanent damage.
Oh, I see. Well, that sounds like a real mess, but I'm glad you're okay and we'll get to go home soon.
Well, what about you? How are you doing? Do you still need me to bring your clothes, or did you manage to get that figured out since you reached out to Tom?
Yeah, don't worry. I just reached out to my mom and I asked her if she wouldn't mind bringing me something to wear.
Got it. Well, I am glad that you were able to get that sorted out without me. I really am sorry that I wasn't able to get back to you at all, but I'll come and visit with you with Holly soon, okay?
Hey, Greg, are you there? I just wanted to let you know that I got a message from Kate. She told me she's out of the hospital and was going to be recovering at your place for the time being. I was just wondering if that was really true. Is she really over there at your guys' house right now?
No, actually. Kate isn't here, and if she was gonna be coming, then I haven't heard anything about that at all. But we do have Holly home here with us.
I see. Well, I guess that just makes me have even more questions than anything.
Well, while you've been in the hospital, Kate told me that she had her hands full with Holly, and that things were getting difficult with you there. So she asked me if I could watch her, and I've been taking care of your daughter for about 2 weeks now.
Wow, you've been watching Holly for 2 weeks now? Just what is Kate up to?
I'm not really sure. I'm just glad that I have Holly here so nothing is happening to her while Kate is out there doing, whatever it is that she's doing.
Well, I guess it's a good thing that we were able to talk in person about this a little the other day. It seems that our worst fears might be right after all, though.
I know what you mean, and I really want to say how sorry I am about all this.
No, Greg, you don't have to apologize for anything at all. I'm just grateful that you have been on my side and been so understanding through this whole ordeal. Anyways, I'll let you know as soon as I'm all ready here. And I'm just really sorry to have to ask, but could you just please hold on to Holly for a little bit longer?
Of course, it's no problem at all. I would be more than happy to watch her.
Greg, are you there? I just wanted to say how grateful I am that you took Holly to come and see me the other day. Also, I heard that you took her to go and see my parents afterwards as well, isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right. Holly was telling me how long it's been since she's last seen her other grandparents, and so we went there afterwards. But your parents were very surprised and happy to see us. They were saying how they just wish that you could be out of the hospital already.
Greg, I can't tell you how much it means that you did that. Thank you again, really. But now I guess that we should probably talk about the matter at hand, right?
I suppose so. How are things on your end? Did you get all the preparation done that you need to?
I think so, yeah. If everything goes according to plan, we should be ready for things to go down at my house around 9 in the morning tomorrow. If I could ask you to be ready by then, I'd be really grateful. Thank you.
You got it. I guess I'll see you tomorrow at 9, okay? Get some rest.
Hey, Kate, I was just wondering if you were still recovering at your parents' house right now?
Hey, Brian. Yeah, I'm still here with my parents, just trying to get over my injuries. I'm mostly healed up, but there is still some pain and discomfort, so I'm trying to take it easy and not to push myself. Although, because I fell down the stairs, I noticed that I just get really scared when I'm near tall places now.
I see. Well, that kinda stinks, given that our apartment is on the 7th floor of our building then, huh?
That's right, and I really wanted to take Holly and go to visit you in the hospital, but when I learned what floor you were on... Well, I'm sorry, but I think I'm just not mentally ready to be in a place like that right now, but you understand, don't you?
It's okay, Kate. You don't have to worry about that. Thankfully, my mom has been coming to keep me company.
That's great to hear. Please tell your mom that I'm really thankful to her for doing that and that I'm glad she's there for you. It's a really good thing that your family lives so close to the hospital where you're at right now. I promise to work on this new fear of heights that I've gotten and try to overcome it by the time that you're ready to leave the hospital.
No, you don't need to worry about doing anything like that, I don't think.
What do you mean? I'm scared of heights now, and I want to be over this fear by the time we're living together again.
I just mean that you won't have to do that because you're already at our apartment right now, aren't you? I mean, people have already seen you walking around town too, even though you're supposed to be injured and immobile. But from what I've heard, it sounds like you're already over your fear of heights, given that you've been coming to and from our apartment this whole time. Not only that, but people have even seen you coming in and out of our place with a man who isn't me.
Wait, Brian, what is this? What are you talking about? I told you that I'm staying with my family right now while I recover. Do you really think that I'm out doing something with other people when I'm still injured?
Oh please, the only one who's at your parents' house is Holly, isn't it? Meanwhile, you've been taking advantage of the fact that I'm at the hospital to go and run around with whoever this other man of yours is, right?
Brian, how could you say that? Of course I'm not doing anything like that at all. You're not actually serious about this, are you? I mean, You do know that I actually fell down the stairs and have been healing this whole time, don't you? How can you even joke about me lying about this?
About where these stairs were that you fell down were? They were at the apartment of the boyfriend of yours while he was away on a business trip, right?
Are you still going on about this other man? I am telling you that I have no idea what you're talking about at all.
Why are you still lying to me about this? I know that you'll leave Holly with a friend or with parents and then go over and see this guy. But this time you didn't have anyone to watch over Holly, so you took her to this man's apartment, huh? But that was then, while climbing up the stairs, when going to his place, both you and Holly slipped and fell down the stairs. Then, when you were gonna call the ambulance, you didn't want any questions about where you were or why you were there. So you drove all the way back to our place, pretended to fall down the stairs again, and then you called the ambulance. And ever since then, you've been holed up in our apartment, haven't you?
But how do you know all this? I don't get it.
Because while I have been here in the hospital, I also hired a private investigator to follow you and watch what you were doing.
Why would you do that?
Because you were acting suspicious and things weren't adding up. So as he was following you to your boyfriend's place, he heard both of you fall and watched you get in your car and drive back to our place.
You mean that this person you hired to follow me saw the whole thing?
That's right. I know the whole truth and there's nothing you can say that's gonna convince me otherwise. But that's all you're gonna hear about this from me. I'll leave what happens next up to your dad.
My dad? What do you mean? What does he have to do with any of this?
Well, he's actually waiting right now outside of our building. He even caught your little boyfriend as he tried to leave the building.
He caught him? But how did he even know who he was?
Well, that's what you get for sleeping with someone who works for your dad. He told me via text about how he caught this guy and that he knows exactly who he was.
Brian, are you there? Please, you have to help me. At the very least, you have to give me custody of our daughter. I don't care if you want a divorce. If that's what you want, then I'll give it to you. Just please don't take my little girl away from me.
I can't believe that you're seriously asking me this. After you let our daughter fall down the stairs, you didn't call for help and you changed the scene of the crime first. But what if Holly had been seriously injured? Don't you realize the risk that you were taking with her health just so you wouldn't get caught? Do you ever really think I would ever entrust my daughter to someone like you ever again?
What are you talking about? How can you accuse me of trying to put our own daughter in harm's way?
What do you mean, what am I talking about? Are you really gonna pretend like we haven't already talked about this? I am talking about not only were you lying about taking care of Holly, when what you were really doing was dropping her off at a friend's place or your parents to go and cheat on me, but on top of that, you actually brought our daughter to the home of the man who you were having an affair with, let her get injured, and then waiting to call for help until you thought you wouldn't get in trouble for it.
Well, what was I supposed to do? I didn't have anyone else who I could leave her with.
What were you supposed to do? You weren't supposed to cheat on me for starters!
But I already had it in my schedule to meet up with this guy. I can't just change my schedule like that.
Are you seriously ignoring the part where you are literally cheating on me, your husband? I don't care how you see the situation, the fact of the matter is that I've been given custody of Holly and you are never gonna have her again.
But you can't keep her. If you have her, then that means that I have to pay you child support.
That's right, and don't forget about the money that you owe me after I sue you for the affair too.
But I'm going to be flat broke by the time I pay you all that.
Kate basically ended up having to pay me all the money that she had saved up for herself before the two of us were married. Then she still had monthly child support payments to make as well. She ended up having to beg her father to help her find a job, and he found her a position in one of her friend's businesses. Her parents even let her move in with them on the condition that they would strictly control all of her money and how late she would stay out. As for Holly and I, we had support from friends and family come flooding in after the divorce. Even without all the money from child support, just knowing how many people have been willing to help us makes me think that we'll be just fine.